Fighting Bees fans, here are your St. Ambrose University Fighting Bees!
Good afternoon, Saints fans. We're out here in Davenport, Iowa this afternoon as the Saints take on the St. Ambrose Bees. Nick Jacobs and Dave Laquetta up here in the top of Brady Street Stadium. And Dave, the schedule has worked out beautifully as far as drama is concerned and as far as the Saints being in charge of their own destiny, right? They went 3-0 in the conference against the teams that are kind of at the bottom of the standings. But now, the next 4 weeks starting today, they take on one of the four teams who are 2-1 behind the Saints 3-0. So if they want to stay on top of the MSFA Midwest, well, all you got to do is win out because the teams chasing you are the ones who can take over that top spot. And it starts today against the St. Ambrose Bees team, who's kind of an enigma a little bit, right? So 2 weeks ago, they lose to Judson, a team that St. Francis shut out last week. They lost in overtime in that game to Judson. And then the very next week, they come out and beat a top 15 team in Olivet Nazarene. So they lost to a pretty a somewhat bad team, and they beat a really, really good team in Olivet. So, what kind of St. Ambrose team are we going to see today?
Yeah, it's going to be a great afternoon for football. Perfect weather, mid-50s. I think 40s. Very little wind. Turf that's just about, I think, a year or two old. It feels real fresh out there, if you want to call it fresh turf. But you talked about it a little bit before where the Saints started out 0-2 and now have won 3 in a row. And you hear that every week, Nick. You hear that in small college football. You hear that, at the Division I level, and you hear it at the professional level. So much more in football than any other sport, and it's a game of momentum. Yep. And right now you can see that momentum building each and every week with St. Francis. They played tough. They played Marion very tough. A lot of people were surprised by that. And then they went up to Siena, a game that, as you look back at it now, probably the Saints should have won. They had the costly fumble there in the second half, but pretty much blanked Siena Heights. And then you got that first win against Missouri Baptist. It was a struggle back and forth. And then you got the next win, and then you got the win over Judson. So, good victories, good momentum builders for the Saints. And now they come on the road with, a serious contender for this Mid-States Football Association Midwest League title.
Captain's about to meet at midfield right now. You went through the road for St. Francis, how they got to this point. For St. Ambrose, they started off with a 45-13 win against Iowa Wesleyan then back in week 1, and then a loss to Waldorf University 24-17. Then they played a top 6 team in the country, Concordia University, Michigan. Hard-fought game for that one, but it was a 34-14 loss for St. Ambrose. Then they lost to Lawrence Tech as well, 29-24. Then came the wins for St. Ambrose. They win over Trinity, a win over Olivet Nazarene, and they lost to Judson 2 weeks ago in overtime. The MSFA as it stands is incredible. There's really a logjam at the top of the Midwest League for the MSFA. It's St. Francis on top 3-0 with 4 different teams at 2-1. And what's fun about that are those 4 teams who are 2-1 are the next 4 opponents for St. Francis. It's St. Ambrose, it's Roosevelt, it's St. Xavier, and it's Olivet Nazarene. So really, if St. Francis wants to make the playoffs, it's probably going to have to come through a conference championship. So that begins now. If you lose against St. Ambrose or any of the next following 3 games, the playoffs are probably out of reach. So the playoffs, for all intents and purposes, start today out here in Davenport.
And what else do they say in football? You want to go 1-0 this week.
That's what Coach Curry likes to say for sure. He wants to go 1-0 every week, and so far so good as far as the MSFA Midwest is concerned. Some pregame ceremonies going on right now here at Brady Street Stadium, a very similar stadium to Memorial Stadium back in Joliet. Looks appears to be kind of built in the same era, concrete bleachers on each side as we see the captains roll out there to midfield for the coin flip. So we know St. Ambrose, right? We've played them a bunch of times. This is the 28th meeting between the two programs. St. Francis is just 10-17. They've lost the last 4 against St. Ambrose, including the 2 games last season when they've doubled up against Ambrose and St. Xavier in the COVID season. So there's been a revenge, I think, on the minds of St. Francis today. So there's so much motivation for the Saints. It's setting yourself up for the playoffs. It's proving that you are worthy of that top seed in the MSFA. It's keeping the momentum going, and it's revenge against a team who's had your number for the past 4 years.
Yeah, and really, I think for both teams, it's going to be like Siena Heights. I really feel that, just a defensive battle between the two teams. Both of them really do like to run. We've seen, you'll talk a little bit later about the numbers with St. Ambrose in terms of the number of sacks and things like that. So, it's grinded out football with St. Ambrose. It really is. They don't pass as much. The St. Francis defense has been absolutely incredible, especially in the second half. They've given up 1 score, 7 points, and that was really at the end of the Trinity International game when some reserves were put in. But since week 1, that is the only score in the second half against the St. Francis defense.
St. Francis has a top 20 defense in the country as it sits right now. They are ranked 17th in points allowed at 17. They give up about 289 total yards per game, which is 16th best in the NAIA, 176 through the air, about 113 on the ground. So St. Francis bringing in a pretty good defense, but as you alluded to, St. Ambrose, a pretty good defense in their own right. They lead the entire nation in sacks, and it's not even close. 31 quarterback sacks for the St. Ambrose defense coming into the game this afternoon. Most of those coming from just, 3 guys. Their 2 defensive ends are outstanding. Bernard Buhake, a senior out of Arlington, Texas, and as well as Drew Ackman, a junior out of Newman Central Catholic in Dixon, Illinois. Those 2 men have combined for 15 of those 31 sacks between those 2. They have a great linebacker in DJ Ocean as well, a sophomore out of South Elgin who has 4 sacks. So they can get after the quarterback. So if you're going up a team who can really get after the passer, what are some keys for that St. Francis offense to score?
Well, one of the things for the Saints is really to come out of the gates like they did the last 2 weeks as the Saints.
Let's see what happens. It's going to be Scott Tumulty, the opening kickoff return up to the 22-yard line. Decent return for Scotty. We haven't seen the fireworks from Scott Tumulty that we saw last week, but he's been very effective as a kick returner and very effective as a tackler as well. He's the top 3 tackler on the team. So here comes the St. Francis offense led by the freshman and Scott's younger brother, Sam Tumulty, who has been outstanding today, especially this year, I should say, especially with his legs. 105 carries, 582 yards. He averages 5.5 yards per carry. And he will be in the shotgun this time. St. Francis starting out 4 wide receivers. 4, or make it 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Liam Eldridge in the backfield goes in motion, and he'll take the screen pass. Nice block from Ray Vaughn, but it's actually going to end up for a loss of 1 as they tried to string it out to the big side of the field, but couldn't quite find the edge. Could Liam? It's a loss of 1. So 2nd down and 9 coming up for St. Francis.
And what I was saying right as we approached kickoff was the fact that each of the past 2 weeks, the St. Francis offense was able to score on their first possession, and they kept that momentum going. It was 8-0 at halftime last week.
Keep an eye out for number 5 and number 0 on that defensive front for St. Ambrose. Looks like they're going to bring pressure. 5 wide receivers, no help in the backfield for Sam, he's going to keep it. Designed run for Tumulty. He breaks through into the second level, past the 30 to the 31-yard line. He'll pick up about 8, but a yard shy. We'll give about 10 yards on the carry.
Well, I'll tell you what, you said to watch out for number 5. That's Drew Ackman, a junior defensive lineman from Dixon, Illinois. I'll tell you what, if Ackman didn't stop Tumulty on that play, he could have went all the way.
3rd down and 1 after the quarterback carry for Sam Tumulty. Eldridge in motion, right to left. Jet sweep motion. Tumulty pulled down from behind. Second effort, nearing the 1st down line to gain. I don't think he's going to make it, though. A strong defensive play in the backfield. I believe that was Buhaki, one of the defensive ends, grabbing Tumulty by the back of the shirt, preventing him from picking up the 1st down. And Dave, it's 4th down and 1 at their own 31, and that offense is not hurrying off the field. Matt McCarthy and company aggressive.
24 on the play clock, and Tumulty getting the play from the sidelines.
Pere Barberin will be in the backfield on protection, you would assume, here on 4th down and 1. St. Francis going for it. Ambrose lining up for the blitz.
10-man up, 10-man front.
10 men in the box. Play action. Tumulty looking. He's not going to get it. He didn't get back to the original line, and it's a turnover on downs deep inside their own territory at the 30-yard line. A great start for the Bees.
The mistake there for Sam Tumulty that time, you know you have to get a yard. You just have to barrel your way up front. He was dancing around looking for a hole, and like we said, with a 10-man front up front, they were just waiting for him. They swarmed around him, and it'll be 1st down for St. Ambrose at the St. Francis 30.
St. Ambrose knew what was coming there. And now we see Tom Casey, the quarterback for Ambrose, 50% through the air, over 1,000 yards. They're going to start off on the ground, hit in the backfield, and that one is going to go for no gain to their running back, Ray Bouye, the senior out of St. Rita in Chicago. 50 carries, over 230 yards. He averages about 4.5 per touch.
And I'll tell you, why St. Francis probably went for it in that situation is this defense, because if there's a chance where they could be scored upon, they just get tougher as this pass falls incomplete, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. But they've bent throughout the year, but they have not broken. And last week was a prime example against Judson. 4 times Judson was in the red zone. That's within the 20-yard line. Twice they were at the 3 and the 7-yard line and came away with 0.
Tom Gillen is a weapon for St. Ambrose, their place kicker, if needed here on 3rd down and 10. Casey looking. Here comes some pressure, rolling out right. Saints chasing him down. He throws it away.
There's nobody there.
Threw it away, and it's going to be 4th down. Now, here's the question. Is Tom Gillen going to come out? This is going to be about a 47, 48-yarder, which he hit last week.
Yeah, and he was the, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? He was the National Special Teams Player of the Week.
And it's not going to matter because St. Ambrose is going to go for it here on 4th and 10. Instead of giving their kicker, their special teams, the national kicker, or special teamer of the week, they're going to keep him on the bench, and their offense is going to go.
Slight breeze blowing in the face of St. Ambrose's offense right now.
Here's Tom Casey on 4th and 10. Steps up and fires. They're going long into the end zone. It is. There's a battle in the end zone.
No, incomplete.
No. They're going to say he knocked it away. What a play by Angel Mata in the end zone. The receiver had his hands on it, but Mata knocked it away at the last second. What a play. And Dave, on the car right up here, we talked about how the cornerbacks for the Saints are playing. Angel Mata on one side, Terrence Nicholson on the other, and Angel Mata made the play of the game so far here early on.
Well, that was a huge play. Angel Mata perfectly defending the receiver that time. And they were battling it all the way to the end, like 3 or 4 times before they finally landed on the ground and the ball popped out.
So both offenses going for it on 4th down on their first possession. I think, as you mentioned before, trusting in each other's defenses. Here's Sam's first throw downfield. It's complete to Rayvon Johnson. 12-yard carry. Tried to make a move after the catch, but his foot went out of bounds. Give him 13 yards up to the 43-yard line. The first down we've seen today from either team.
Yeah, and really surprising that on for St. Ambrose, we talked about them being primarily a running team, and they went with 3 out of 4 passes. But you know what? That was set up by the first down play where St. Ambrose didn't get anything, created for a 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and then obviously 4th and long.
Here's Sam Tumulty on 1st down. Outside it goes. Great block for Rayvon. Catches it, breaks through, another gain of 11, and another 1st down for the Saints. Liam Eldridge with the block to spring Rayvon Johnson.
You're exactly right. Good point, Nick. Liam Eldridge took out one of the outside linebackers, pushed him in. Rayvon Johnson comes to the near side, outside. And I'll tell you what, you've had 2 catches from Rayvon Johnson right now for 12 yards and 10 yards. I'm not sure somebody can defend against Rayvon Johnson this afternoon after those first 2 plays. They're going to have to make quick adjustments. Otherwise, Rayvon's going to have a huge afternoon.
He's the biggest guy on the field right now. And they're going to give it to him again on the wide receiver bubble in. This time, nothing doing after the catch, but he only picks up about 2 on that play. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Saints. I'd like you to keep your eye on in the trenches, because I think that's where a lot of this game is going to be, is if the offensive line for St. Francis can handle the pass rush from Buhaki and Ackman. And I'd love to keep an eye on that battle as it progresses through today. 2nd down and 8. Ball at the St. Ambrose 44.
Well, and you can see on each of the 3 or 4 pass plays that the Saints have had, they've all been quick hitters.
Yep. Eldridge, right slot, in motion left. First run play of the series goes to Pere Barberin. Cuts it back left past the 40. Nice pickup by Pere for about 4.5 yards up to the 40-yard line.
Great week last week for Pere Barberin. Set personal records, 118 yards on the ground, rushing, 3 rushing touchdowns, all of which came in the 4th quarter to seal the victory for the Saints. So expecting another big afternoon from him. Wendell Johnson, I think, is still out.
Concussion last week in a pretty violent play. Here's Sam Tumulty, spins the ball in his hands. Pressure coming, throwing from his back foot, incomplete. And we just saw the first effective pass rush from St. Ambrose bring up 4th down and 4. Well, you went for it on 4th down and 1 at your own 30. You're going to go for it on 4th and 4 at the St. Ambrose 40. Are we going to have a punt at all today?
I'll tell you what.
I don't know, man. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 4.
Yeah, I think you're going to look at Rayvon Johnson. It's going to be a quick hitter again.
Rayvon lined up slot right.
Inside, near side here.
Snap back to Sam. Looking, fires to the edge, and it is complete to Eldridge at the 30. Breaks it inside, big gainer for St. Francis into the red zone for the first time. They pick up 22 yards to Liam Eldridge. 1st down and a whole lot more.
Well, Liam was out there by himself. He had a cornerback, Major Haas, there from Aurora, but Major jumped in front after the fact and couldn't get the tackle.
Keeper for Sam, looking to the edge, spun around, still on his feet, dancing at the 15, still going almost to the 10-yard line. The human bruise picks up 9 yards. 2nd down and 1 to the 10.
I love it.
That is a Lee Turnbow phrase.
But, yeah, getting back to that last play with Eldridge, he was wide open on the near sideline. Haas was about 4 yards in front, and then Haas, when he saw the pass come, tried to get in front of it, but he was 2 yards in front of it. By that time, the ball went through, and Eldridge was able to pick up the 22 yards.
Eldridge on the sweep, 5-3, spinning into the end zone, and he is down just shy. I don't know how that happened. It looked like he was flipped over the goal line to me, but officials are going to mark him down at the 1. It's going to be a 1st and goal situation with 3 feet to go, and quickly to the line goes St. Francis. Sam under center, Pere Barber in the tailback. Sam's going to keep it, push forward, and he is in. Touchdown. Touchdown, St. Francis, first score of the day. 8:34 to go first quarter, 6-0, and we'll see what they want to do here on the extra point. Put out the swinging gate formation.
Well, it's going to be interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about it after this play, but St. Francis really moving the ball really quickly, and St. Ambrose was not ready for that type of offense on this, in essence, the 2nd drive for the Saints.
Doing it through the pass is St. Francis today so far in that drive. Sam looking awful good through the air. They didn't like what they saw on the potential 2-point conversion. They're going to line up for the traditional kick here from Brian Madej. Snap back to is good. It looked like it was tipped at the line, but it's still fluttered through and good. 7-0 Saints, 8:34 to go here in the first quarter out in Davenport. St. Francis trying to hold on to their top spot in the MSFA Midwest.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw in that last play, but they had about 3 or 4 guys coming out, Nick. And, and then their other 4 guys were coming in, and St. Francis was already at the line of scrimmage. And
yeah, they used the no huddle effectively on that drive. A few different times they've picked up a big gain and then raced back to the line of scrimmage on that play, on that drive that went 70 yards, 9 plays, ending with the Sam Tumulty quarterback sneak for the touchdown.
Yep, 9 plays, 70 yards, 3 minutes, 23 seconds. And it was almost like the Saints' first drive, really, because, they went 3 and out so quick, or 4 and out, I should say. And then St. Ambrose had 4 and out, so it was like it was the Saints' first possession at their own 30 again. And they got it together, and they marched down the field.
Short pooch kick by St. Francis, raced up by one of the upbacks for Ambrose. And they're going to have some pretty decent field position. They must be trying to keep it away from some pretty dangerous returners for the Bees. Ambrose will start approaching midfield at about the 45-yard line. Through the first half of this first quarter, St. Francis is Sam Tumulty 5 for 6, 47 yards through the air. On the ground, he's run it 5 times for 18 yards and a touchdown. Rayvon Johnson, 3 catches for 26. Liam Eldridge, 2 catches for 21. Let's see if the Bees can answer here. Both teams went, I guess we'll say 4 and out in their first possessions. The second possession for St. Francis was a 70-yard drive for a touchdown. Let's see what the Bees can do. Nice run by Bouye. Inside carry up to the 49. He'll pick up 5.
Ray Bouye, the ball carrier.
I know everyone probably tuning in is like, why are we listening on YouTube? I understand it's a bit strange. There's been some situations that kind of forced our hand, but I kind of like it. I honestly enjoy it. Maybe we can expand on this as you watch the logo and listen to the game. Here's Casey passing to the outside. It's complete. Nice tackle made on the outside. Short of the first down is the receiver, Blake Whitman. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. Up to the Saints' 46-yard line.
Opponents converting at a 36% clip on 3rd down. I think last week Judson was like 3 for 15.
Casey in the pistol. Bouye behind him, and they're going to look to the sidelines again for the play. Ray Bouye, a senior out of St. Rita. 24 carries and 106 yards against Olivet last week.
Like to get a big stop here and force the punt. Get the ball back.
They will run it. Bouye hit in the backfield. Still on his feet. He picks up a 1st down and more. Bouye to the 33. Taken down by Nicholson. They had him in the backfield but couldn't bring him down. Bouye, a small, shifty back. 5'5", 185. And you saw the vision and elusiveness of Ray Bouye. 1st down for the Bees at the St. 33-yard line.
Yeah, I think it was Logan Johnson who missed him in the backfield.
It's going to be Casey through the air, looking to the sideline, overshot his receiver again. He's tried twice to go to the outside to Yemi Ward at the sideline, but twice he's overshot him. 2nd down and 10 for the Bees at the St. 33. The big play, a 15-yard carry by Ray Bouye. New running back into the game. It's Trent Nunn, bigger guy, 6'1", 205. He'll go to the right hip of Casey. 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers with the tight end. Down the middle of the field, it is tapped and loose and incomplete. Scott Tumulty could have had a chance at that. It was batted into the air by the superback Sam Kerr.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Sam Kerr, I thought he initially dropped it on the first time, and then here he bobbled it and almost came away with the reception, but good coverage by the Saints secondary again. And Cameron Holman, coming from that left defensive line position, put pressure on the quarterback.
3rd down and 10 for the Bees at the St. 33. Again, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, none behind Casey, the quarterback. Here's Casey to throw. Right side, looking for the home run. Underthrown and intercepted Intercepted by the Saints at the 8-yard line. Angel Mata, his second interception of the season.
Yeah, and Angel was almost playing the offensive position because that ball was thrown so close to him and just short. And like you said, Angel Mata comes up with the second interception of the season. Saints will take over at their own 8-yard line. 6:42 left to play. Saints on top after their last march of 9 plays, 70 yards, capped off by the Sam Tumulty 1-yard touchdown run.
Another big play by Angel Mata. 2 big plays in the red zone for St. Francis. Here comes Tumulty and company. Looking to add on to their 7-0 lead. He's on the ground, and he'll run it up to the 15-yard line. He'll pick up 6 or 7 yards. Second down coming up at the 15 of St. Francis.
Ball on the 15. 2nd and 3.
Say 2nd and 3 here for the Saints. 3 wide receivers left, the tight end right for Sam Tumulty. Snap back, they give to Pere, looking for the edge, turns the corner. First down for Barberin up to the 25-yard line. Chains move for the Saints. On the ground this time. Nice to see them get the ground game going, balance out the effective passing game so far today.
I'll tell you, one of the guys who's really doing a nice job so far, the freshman Ashton Sorgia, on the play before where Tumulty broke free for 7 or 8, the freshman took out the guy that you were talking about, Drew Ackman, one of the linebackers, allowing Tumulty to pick up the extra yardage.
Eldridge, nope, it's going to be keeper by Sam, but he's taken down by the shoelaces, and that's one of those guys again, Drew Ackman, the defensive end with the tackle. Awful good. 30 tackles, which is 3rd best for the Bees, 7.5 sacks. 15 tackles for a loss, and you can put another one on the board for him there. Not only that, but he's also forced 3 fumbles, recovered 1, and batted down 3 passes. He's a do-it-all defensive end for the St. Ambrose Bees. Second down here for the Saints, 4 wide receivers, 3 right, 1 left, middle of the field. Sam throwing. He finds his receiver at the 30, breaks to the outside, 35, wrapped up to the 40, and another first down for St. Francis. It goes to Trenton Perry, his 3rd catch of the season.
17-yard pickup, in the Saints now 4 plays, 1 for 7, 1 for 9, and 1 for 17. That's what you like to see.
So they're finding their success through the air, on the outside of the field, near the sidelines. We talked about the strength for St. Ambrose, their pass rush. Their weakness, though, the secondary on the outside. And St. Francis taking advantage so far. Now they're going to run it. Jet sweep for Eldridge. Pere Barberin missed his block, only able to get 2 yards on the play. Make it 3 yards up to the 44-yard line. Yeah,
Pere just sort of put the slight left shoulder nudge into the defender, and that wasn't going to be good enough. Fortunately, Liam was able to at least pick up 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Saints, who are moving real quickly today.
4:22 to go, first quarter. Saints lead at 7-zip. Snap back to Tumulty.
Get rid of it.
Broken play, checks it down, though, and he finds Barberin, complete and a first down. He goes 10 yards up to the St. Ambrose 46-yard line, moves the chains again and again. St. Francis into B territory. And again, no huddle. They're going to, oh, no, they are going to look to the sideline for a play. I thought they'd try to catch St. Ambrose again with their substitutions, but not this time.
I'll tell you what the Saints have come in with their offensive package so far, it's hard to defend. They're doing a little bit of everything right now.
St. Francis is cooking. First down. Play action. Sam looking. Nice protection. He's going to tuck it and go. Dodges the big hit near the 40-yard line, and Sam Tumulty able to pick up about 7 more. I thought he was going to get level. He stayed in bounds, and the safety came up to make the hit, and Sam with a nifty little duck avoided the big hit, but was taken down. It's going to be 2nd down and 2 inside the 40 now.
7 plays in this series, Nick. 5 of the plays for 7 yards or more.
7 plays, 54 yards so far on this drive. Eldridge in motion again. Play action to him. Sam's going to keep it. Inside run. Takes the hit down to the 33, but another St. Francis first down.
Cole on the tackle.
Just a great job of really mixing it up. And, early on in the season, you saw the offense struggle inside in between the two tackles. But now when you're mixing it up so much, going outside left, outside right, pass here, pass there, it creates a hole for Sam Tumulty to pick up 5 yards of crack.
Eldridge in motion again. Sam's going to look to throw. He's got him open downfield and incomplete. Ooh, he gave Rayvon Johnson a chance. He threw it to an open spot in the field. I'm not sure Rayvon found the ball in the air.
And I'll tell you what, good job by the offensive line again. St. Ambrose was coming in with heavy pressure. They had at least a couple linebackers who were putting on the blitz, and the offensive line picked it up, gave Sam just enough time to throw that ball. Like you said, gave Rayvon a little bit of a lead.
They're not stacking the box on this play. 2nd down and 10. Corners are back. Safety, single safety back middle of the field. Sam again going for Eldridge. Deep one-handed grab, but he missed it. Tried to pull it in with one hand. I think he even would have been out of bounds if he did. 2.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Saints lead at 7-0. 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Saints at the Ambrose 32. St. Francis has picked up 9 first downs compared to St. Ambrose's 1.
Saints on 3rd down this year, a very good 43%. They've converted on 26 of 60.
Sam has Johnson hoping to make a few miss. Made one miss, but not the second. He only picked up about 4 before Max Gurley, the sophomore from Dubuque, put a stop to that.
So you're at the 29, so it would be a 46-yard field goal. You got no wind right now, but see what the Saints are going to do here. I think they're going to go for it. 4th and 7.
St. Francis is 1 for 2 on 4th downs today.
1 for 4 coming in.
3 wide receivers right, 1 left, ball left hash for Tumulty in the gun. Parade Barber and right hip. Good snap. Sam looking. Fires right side. Has Rayvon to the 20. Diving to the 14 and another first down for the Saints. The coverage was just way too soft on Rayvon Johnson.
He's down at the 16.
Saints move it again on 4th down. The 2nd time this quarter on 3 tries.
It's first down.
4 wide receivers again. Dan Getch, the tight end right. Motion left to right. They hand it off. Perry. Nice block by Perry that time, but couldn't quite get past the safety coming up making the tackle. No gain on the play.
Almost a late hit there.
Sure was.
Tenton Perry, the ball carrier.
Saints haven't gotten too much out of those plays. We saw one earlier with Liam Eldridge going to the left. This side with Trenton Perry. And both have resulted in a net of 0 yards.
Yeah, at least it keeps the defense honest, right?
Yep.
You got to keep trying to run the football. Under a minute to go here, first quarter in Davenport.
It's about the only play that hasn't worked for the Saints today.
Blitz coming, but Sam runs right past it to the 10. Inside the 10, knocked down at about the 7-yard line, close to a first down is Sam Tumulty. Even when they dial up the perfect blitz, it's the athletic ability of Sam Tumulty to make a positive out of it.
And
3rd down and 1.
And that's one of the things that he's doing really well today. And this is probably from a tremendous amount of film work. Just knowing that pressure is coming, and he sees it right away, and he took off. He didn't, week 1, week 2, he would have been, flailing around in the backfield. He's just going straight up.
3rd down and 1. Eldridge motion, jet motion. They give it to the back. Perret. Barberin still on his feet, trying to push forward.
Yeah.
He does. He falls for the yard. Do they give him the forward progress?
Yep.
They sure do. Just shy of the 5-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup and another first down. But Ambrose says it was a fumble. There is a beanbag on the field. And they're going to give it to the Bees. turnover by the Saints.
I
Ray
didn't see
Barbary.
that. Did you?
I did not, but I suppose if they're going to mark it at the 5 as he tried to push, it was probably taken out of his hands as he was trying for those extra yards. So if they're gonna mark it forward progress, I guess they can't come back and say he was down before that. So
that was a 15-play drive, Nick.
Yeah, unfortunately it ends with the fumble.
Yeah, it went 86 yards. 15 plays, 86 yards. All right, St. Francis defense has to stick it to him. One play here left in the first quarter and get a 3 and out. Get some great field position.
St. Ambrose very adept at forcing turnovers. That is the 10th fumble recovery this year. Here's Bouye, the carry from the shadows of the goalpost for the Bees as we draw to the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Saints. They put together 3 very long drives. One has ended up in a touchdown. This latest one ends up with a turnover.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
Again, we appreciate folks listening to the game on YouTube. I know it's a bit different than listening on the radio. Radio had some things going on, so we have the radio broadcast here on the YouTube. You might be wondering to yourself, where's the video? Well, the video is just going to be the logo here. I'll try the other option to the logo is the computer camera facing into the press box here, and we're just both standing up. So you don't want to see that. We could turn it around, but that might break some NAI broadcasting rules. I don't think we can do that since we're on the road today. So you get the radio broadcast on the YouTube feed. 7-0 here, Saints after 1, and you said they needed a good start, and pretty good. I would have liked to have seen another touchdown there as you pushed it inside the 10-yard line. Great start to that first quarter, a bit of a dubious end, but overall the offense moving the ball and kind of with ease. I don't think we expected that.
Now, like I said, just Matt McCarthy, the offensive coordinator, and his staff just really mixing it up against a very strong defense that you talked about in the pregame.
Here we go, start of the second quarter, 2nd down and 5 for the Bees, deep inside their own territory. It is caught but hit immediately by Angel at the 11-yard line. 3 more yards to go to pick up the first down, so it's 3rd down for the Bees. Angel Mata having a great game from his cornerback spot. Jalen Cooper in at safety. Scott Tumulty going to help Terrence Nicholson over on their number 1 wide receiver at a cornerback. Bouye, the carry.
Nope.
Not a lot of room there.
Nope.
Defensive line does their job. No gain. Maybe a loss of a couple of feet. 4th down coming up. Are St. Ambrose going to try again? No. Here. Okay.
No.
Yeah. They're going to send out the punt unit this time. The Saints defense looking just as good as the offense is so far today.
31 yards of offense for St. Ambrose on 13 plays. Scott Tumulty back at around the 50-yard line, awaiting the punt.
There it goes. Wobbler will bounce at the 43.
Great
and go
field.
out of bounds. Yeah, St. Francis will take that. They're going to start at the Ambrose 43. After the punt goes out of bounds from Jackson Hunsicker. He's actually one of the best punters in the entire nation. He's 10th in average with about 40 yards. He's tied for 4th in the NAIA with 17 punts inside the 20. Didn't have much of an opportunity to pin anybody deep there, kicking from his own end zone. But he still puts it about 43 yards. That's about as good as you can hope for with that situation for the Bees. Here comes Sammy.
So here's what you want to take advantage of now. You got excellent field position. You had a great drive before. Again, all about momentum, Nick.
Motion man is Curran from left to right. They counter with Barberin, but he's hitting the backfield and
hang on to the ball.
Elusivity is not really his game. Power more of what you see from Perret. He'll just fight to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Second down.
That's a tough word.
Elusivity?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that's a real word.
I'm going to have to check that at halftime.
Yeah, I kind of just made it up, but it sounded right. Elusive ability? How about that one? 2nd down and 10 for the Saints. They're at the B43-yard line. Sam looking to throw, tucks it. Now rolling left, still looking downfield. Great protection. He'll tuck it and run. Get about to the 35-yard line, pick up 7. We'll give him, 36, gain of 6. It's going to be 3rd down and 4.
Nice little block that time from Mr. Dan Getch, one of the tight ends for the Saints, allowing Sam to pick up that extra yardage.
Third down here for USF at the B36-yard line. 4 wide receivers here for Tumulty, looking to the right. Plenty of protection. He lets it fly, and that was just, I'm not exactly sure if he was looking for Kaman Karan on the play or what, but it went out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down. Kind of a...
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. He had the ability to run, too. He could have picked up the first down. You're so used to seeing in those first couple of weeks running more than passing.
Mm-hmm.
In the last couple of weeks, on that one drive, you said, how many he completed in the minimum number of attempts. And then last week, I think he was 13 out of 19. So he's really just progressing with each passing week.
And he's just a freshman. Sam throwing, quick inside route. Rayvon Johnson, the catch and the big hit. First down, USF. It has been the Rayvon Johnson show today. Through about a quarter and change, Rayvon's got 6 catches and over 40 yards.
I believe before the end of the day, we're going to see about a 40 to 50-yard touchdown from Rayvon Johnson.
Yeah, I believe you're right. First down, USF. Their 11th first down of the game. Here's Sam Tumulty finds a hole. You want to talk about running with purpose. He puts his shoulder down and gets inside the 20. That's a 9-yard pickup for the diminutive Sam Tumulty.
And what's so great about this is it's just all set up for a pass, and that's what the defense is looking for. And Sam takes that snap right away, and it is a quick as can be draw. And like you said, the defense isn't ready for that. They're looking at where the receivers are that they have to defend against, and Sam's already running past them.
2nd down and 1 for St. Francis. They're inside the 20 again. Karan in motion. Fake it to him. Sam throws as he's hit and incomplete.
Yeah, had to get rid of that one quickly as one of the linebackers, Brody Mason, senior linebacker from Fulton, Illinois, was on Tumulty, and really a great job by Sam to be able to see him shooting through and getting rid of the ball quickly.
Want to talk about a balanced offense? 19 carries in the game so far for St. Francis and 15 passes.
Yeah.
St. Ambrose can't know what's coming. They have no idea what's coming next. Here on 3rd down and 1, it can go either way. My guess is a Sam Tumulty run, but who knows? Takes the snap. They're going to fake it to Pregame, and there goes Sam, and he's got room. 10, 5, dive, touchdown, Saints. Sam Tumulty takes it 19 yards for the score. I don't see any flags on the field. Saints lead it now 13-0.
And the pylon was in the perfect spot there, wasn't it,
Yeah,
Nick?
we were talking. They're like that every game, and so I assume they're supposed to be like that. But I never understood why the pylons are in out of bounds territory. They're not in the end zone. They're just on the edge, out of bounds. I don't know. Hard to explain without a photo. I suppose there are some. If Brandon and Jessica are here, we'd get a tight shot of the pylon. But here's Madej on the extra point. That one was not tipped, and it is good. 14-0, St. Francis. And it has been all Saints through the first quarter. And Shane's here with 11:23 left to go in the first half.
7 plays, 43 yards, took 2 minutes and 13 seconds. And Sam Tumulty with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon puts the Saints up 14-0.
Hey, let's give a quick shout out to the Saint cross country teams. The men and the women had an early morning meet today, and
yeah, this is
both of them in first place.
This is like the premier meet of the fall before conference tournaments for both squads. So St. Francis was going up against Indiana Wesleyan on the men's side. They were ranked number 1. St. Mary was number 2. There were 12 teams in the top 25 that were in this meet. St. Francis was number 3. And they won it. And on the women's side, the defending national champs, They won it as well. We'll talk more about that at halftime.
Yeah, how about that? Short pooch kick, and there's a bit of a return on here for St. Ambrose as they reverse field all the way to the near side. Return started about the 30 on the short kick and now up to midfield. So a 20-yard return on a short kick gives St. Ambrose half a field to work with 11:14 to go here in the first half.
What do your offensive numbers look like so far, Coach?
You take a look. Oh, man, it's all St. Francis. So Sam Tumblety, 10 for 15 for 98 yards. And we are just a quarter and 4 minutes in. On the ground, it's been Tumblety, 13 carries for 81 yards as the Bees' first play of the drive goes for 2, maybe 3 yards on the ground, second down.
Chris Johnson on the tackle. Let's talk a little bit about him, your defensive player of the week last week.
Absolutely. MSFA Midwest Defensive Player of the Week at 10 tackles, 3 for a loss, 2 sacks, and a pick last week against Judson. Leads the team. A one-handed
pick.
And there was something pretty funny about how that game progressed and with Chris getting that Defensive Player of the Week, which we'll talk about after this play. Second down and 7 for the Bees at the St. 47. Casey, the quarterback in shotgun. He'll take the snap, hand off to the running back. Pushing the pile forward all the way to the 42-yard line. A nice carry for Trent Nunn. So Chris Johnson in the game last week was actually ejected right around halftime.
6 minutes left.
Yeah, right around halftime. He was ejected from the game for what the referees called at the point targeting. At halftime, credit to the referees, they came up, looked at the video footage and determined they did not meet the requirements of that and put him back into the game. And he just had a great second half, interceptions, icing the game for St. Francis, earning the Defensive Player of the Week. So really, the players of the week should be the TV crew who got the footage that the officials were able to look at halftime. That's my opinion.
There you go.
Here's Tom Casey to throw. Looking for the sideline, and again overthrown. He's had receivers on those 10-yard out routes, but consistently overthrowing his receivers.
Well, and another guy that was in the backfield again, and we've talked about him earlier in the game, number 94, Cameron Holman.
Shout out to Cam, and his uncle Ben is watching from home. He has the logo up on his screen listening to the game. Fourth down for the Bees, 4th and 2. They need to get to the St. 40. Defensive ends for St. Francis will switch sides.
0 for 2 on 4th down, aren't they? Or 0 for 1?
0 for 1. Here's their second try. On the ground to Bouye, looking for a hole. He'll push forward for a first down.
Yep,
he picked up 3. He needed 2. He picked up 3 to the 39 for St. Francis. Little extracurricular activities at the end of the play. Oshikai Ebikume, pardon me. Apologies to the Ebikume family.
A lot of vowels in that word.
Every week I got to apologize to his family for mispronouncing. I am so sorry. First down for the Bees at the St. 39. Motion left to right, jet action, play action. Casey through the air, and Bouye tipped and incomplete out of bounds. Looking for the running back out of the backfield on the wheel route. Incomplete, second down and 10.
Scott Tumblety on the coverage that time, and Scott also an MSFA Midwest League Defensive Player of the Week. That was after, I believe it was the Missouri Baptist game. So 2 times in the last 3 weeks, the Saints with the Defensive Player of the Week, and they've been outstanding for each of the last 4 weeks, to be honest with you.
Cornerback's off, but they keep it on the ground. Bouye spinning inside off the tackle, but only a yard to be had there. The defensive line doing a great job. Ryan King with the stop on that play. Third down and another tough situation for the B offense. 3rd and 8.
On the 37, 3rd and 8.
St. Ambrose only 2.3 yards per play.
Yeah, I like that number.
Yeah. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Saints lead at 14-0. Here's Casey dropping back, looking to throw, fires right side. A lot of contact. Mike Magistrelli wants a flag, but it's going to stay in the official's pocket. 4th down.
Terrence Nicholson on the coverage that time. You know, and these are names, Nick.
Yeah.
We did our pre-broadcast production on the way over for about 2.5 hours, and we were just talking about especially the defensive backs for St. Francis, and the names that we're spouting off today are the ones that we brought up in the car. You know, Terrence Nicholson, Scott Tumulty, Angel Mata, and Jermaine Ross.
All performing great. They got a nickel back out there in Cooper right now as well. 4th down and 8. I mean, it feels like a big play here for St. Ambrose. They need something. They short pass, and there's a big hit. Jars the ball loose, and it's again Angel Mata. 3 huge plays so far in a quarter and a half.
And they are fired up on that far sideline right now.
St. Francis takes over on downs.
It has been all Saints on both sides of the football today. Don't get too excited, though, because we've seen the Saints struggle in first halves and come back and perform very well in the second. Nothing saying that St. Ambrose can't do exactly the same.
About an 8-minute and 40-second drive to close out the half.
8 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the first half. First down, USF. They will start at their own 37-yard line.
They had it for 6.5 minutes on that 15-play drive that ended with the fumble at the 6-yard line.
Perry goes in motion. They try for the quick hitter to Liam Eldridge. Sam Tumulty probably put a little bit too much and a little bit too high. Incomplete, second down.
Second down.
St. Francis 5.7 yards per play. Ambrose 2.3. Only 2 first downs in the game so far for the Bees.
And there haven't been too many second and long situations. It's been 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, and
Tumulty looking to throw, nothing there. He's going to scramble and run. Cuts it up the numbers. Pushing forward to the 45-yard line. Picks up 8. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Ambrose 3 and 4 this season. They're 2 and 1 in the conference. Under head coach Mike Magistrelli, been here for a decade and a half. 3rd down and a long 2. The shotgun is Sam Tumulty. He's got 4 wide receivers in Parade Barber and right hip. Rayvon Johnson in motion left to right. Blitz shown. They give it to Rayvon on the jet sweep. Makes a guy miss. Stretches. I think he has it too.
Whoa.
Oh, I'll tell you what. The official's going to put his foot right on that.
They're going to say first down, though.
The official was right in front of the chain, so he knew exactly where it needed to go.
I thought the ball was about a half yard farther than that.
I think it was too, and I think the official knew it, so he put his foot right on the yard to gain line and said, call it a first down. We'll give it to you there. St. Francis, a new set of downs at their own 47, 7:40 to go in the first half. You know, a lot of eyes in the NAIA around the country on this game, just trying to see how the MSFA Midwest is going to shake out. Again, a middle blitz shown by the Bees. They're going to bring a few extra guys. They're going to run it right at it, though, with Perret. Falls forward for about 3 or 4 yards. Well, we give him 5. He gets to the 49-yard line. 4-yard pickup for St. Francis. 2nd down and 6. Coming up, another sustained drive.
Yeah, it's been started at 8:40, and we're now under 7 minutes.
4 plays so far, 14 yards.
Yep.
Not a long drive, but they're moving the chains and doing it methodically as we tick under 7 minutes. Eldridge, the jet motion. Sam's going to keep it. Inside run. And another first down. You just have no idea where St. Francis is going to attack. They've done it through the air to the outside. They've done it on the ground looking for the edge. They've ran inside as well, and they've done it all effectively.
And the other thing that, you know, you talk about Sam, well, he's not 6'4", you know, like a typical, prototypical quarterback. He is so small, like his brother last year with all the punt returns. Yeah. They just get low to the ground, and they're able to pick up 4, 5, 6 yards of crack.
Sam Tumulty, 5'10", 185. 5'10" might be a little generous, too. 3 wideouts on the field for St. Francis, 2 to the right. Johnson wide right and Eldridge slot right, but some miscommunication offensively for the Saints. And this is really the only thing that has slowed down St. Francis has been themselves with the timeout. 6:02 left to go here on the the USF Sports TV Network. You sat down. I thought you were going to pop open your face and just talk to the fans there.
Nope, just looking at some numbers here. I'm not as nifty as you with your little iPad over there.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, look at these numbers. St. Francis offense, double the number of plays right now. 40 offensive plays to 21 for St. Ambrose. 224 yards of total offense to 44 yards for St. Ambrose. Just 13 first downs to 2. And passing yards, 98 for the Saints, just 8 for St. Ambrose. But still a very tight game, 14-0, 6:02 left to play second quarter. Both St. Francis touchdowns coming from Sam Tumulty. Second time, right? He had, did he have 2 or 3 against Trinity International?
I think he had 3, but don't quote me on that.
And 2 today, 1 from 1 yard, the other 1 from 19. 3rd and 2 situation here at the St. Ambrose 45.
And 4 wide receivers on the field for St. Francis. Pere Barberin on the right hip of Sam. Quarterback draw right up the middle, untouched into the 3rd level. There goes Sam, still on his feet, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Sam Tumulty. He goes 44 yards. Make that 45 yards for the touchdown.
And those numbers we just talked about, 224 to 444, or 224 to 44, yeah. Add another 45 yards on. Wow, what a big day for the freshman. And what a big day for the offensive line.
Yes, that was the question. If the offensive line could have a good day today, especially against the pass rush of St. Ambrose, St. Francis was going to have a chance. I don't think anyone saw a 21-0 lead here with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Extra point from Madej is good. 21-0. St. Francis leads at 5:52 to go in the first half. Sam Tumulty, 16 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And don't forget, already coming into this game, Sam Tumulty was one of the leading rushers in the country, 116 yards per game, and he has already surpassed that easily. If he can continue to, if he can continue that for the 3rd quarter, he might take over the lead. But don't forget, he's not even the leader in the conference because Roosevelt has a guy by the name of Kevon Johnson who's just destroying people with his running ability. He's the number 2 rusher in the country, I believe, with that 2-run Roosevelt game.
Yeah. So far, St. Francis 21 points. Through the first 5 games, they were averaging 12 points a game in the first half.
Madej kicks it off deep this time. He's pooch kicked it a few times, but now they're going deep. The return is coming from a big hit out of bounds. It was the
27.
Caden King, the running back on the return.
6 plays, 63 yards on that last drive. Took up just under 3 minutes.
First down, USF. Or make that St. Ambrose, rather. Tom Casey will be in the shotgun, and they got to try to figure something out offensively because nothing has been working. Bouye inside run, hit immediately, and down he goes. That was either Logan Johnson or Mike Whitney.
Mike Whitney.
Okay, it was either 41 or 45, and it was 45 Mike Whitney, who's also had a great season so far. 20 tackles, a couple for a loss. He has a fumble recovery. Along the defensive line is King, Michael Johnson, and Oshikai Ebekumi. Let's see if they rush 3 or bring more. Casey in the shotgun. They're going to rush just the 3. Drop the 8. Casey launching it down the field and about 10 yards too deep, looking for their number 1 receiver, Yemi Ward.
Just 2 of 13 right now is St. Ambrose with the 1 interception.
And Tom Casey, he's over 50% through the air.
Not today.
Over 1,000 yards. I mean, Sam Tumulty, for comparison's sake, has 582 yards passing. He had over 1,000, but no, not today.
And there has not been that much pressure. It's been the 3-man front for St. Francis.
Yeah, it's been the corners covering their men. Here's Casey to throw, empty backfield. Throws, right side, has Kerr up to the 30-yard line, but that's only 3 yards for Sam Kerr.
Whitney there again.
Under 5 minutes to go.
Tom Casey pass complete to Sam Kerr.
And they're going to punt.
As they should. There's just nothing doing offensively. Like we talked about Tom Casey, the quarterback for Ambrose, being over 50% on the season, but today just 3 for 14. His long pass today, just 5 yards. He nearly had a big hitter over 20 yards for a touchdown, but Angel Mata with a great play to knock that one away from the receiver. That's probably their best play offensively.
Yep.
Nice punt spiral. It'll be Scott Tumulty from his 30 and bounces off 2 tacklers, trying to reverse field, kind of going backwards. Turns the corner and he's off. Up the sideline goes Scotty to the 45-yard line.
Are you sure that wasn't Sam in his uniform?
That is a 15-yard return. He probably ran about 75 yards, reversing field, but effective nonetheless. You kind of don't get mad, right? Anybody else, you're like, don't run backward. Just go forward. If you get tackled after 3 yards, fine. That's why we have an offense. But when you got Scott Tumulty, one of the nation's best return men, you kind of let him improvise a bit.
You know, when both of them are running like this,
it's so fun, isn't it?
You've got to wonder, what did their dad teach them when they were little? Because they're both so elusive.
First down and 10 for the Saints. Sam, quarterback draw. Flag comes out for the first time today, right? As Sam takes it up near the 50-yard line. They'll give him the 50, a 5-yard carry, but that's kind of in the place of holding.
Yep. And we talked about that in the pregame as well.
Yes, we did. Got to keep it clean. We talked about the penalties for St. Francis, one of the least penalized teams in the country. 28 penalties through the first 5 games, which is 10th fewest in the NAIA. So they're going to peg Matt Knudsen, the left guard, for the holding penalty. Sophomore out of Willowbrook. I try to give offensive linemen a little bit of love before we start calling them up for penalties, because usually the only reason you hear any of their names is if flags come out. But the offensive line has been awesome today. Derek Wentworth, Ashton Sorgia, Matt Knudsen, Sal Holguin, Jose Sanchez. First down and 20 now. St. Francis at their own 35-yard line. Eldridge in motion. They're going to give it to Liam on the end around, but nicely cut off on the outside for St. Ambrose. And number 36, Connor Dirtz, the linebacker out of Franklin, Wisconsin, with the tackle. Second down and 23 now.
That is the first negative yardage play for the Saints since their first drive. They got their first play of the game, 2-yard loss, and then that 4th down play where they lost 1 yard on their opening drive. Other than that, it's been all positive.
Yeah, you don't want St. Ambrose to get too much of any kind of confidence here. Here's Sam Tumulty on the keeper.
Watch out.
Makes one miss. He's got Prairie in front of him with a nice block up past the original line of scrimmage. So Tumulty still picks up about 16 yards and makes this a 3rd down and 8.
Okay. This is going to plead the Rayvon Johnson touchdown play.
Okay. I'll say Liam Eldridge for the first down on the crossing route. That's my prediction. Here on 3rd down and 8. St. Francis, only 3 for 8. I had to double check that number on 3rd down, but only 3 for 8 on 3rd down.
Yeah.
The only negative number that I really have seen today so far. Sam in the shotgun, Parade left hip, bunch wide receivers right, and a flag comes in. That's going to be a delay of game. That's going to make things a bit tougher now. So 3rd and 8 turns into a 3rd and 13.
2 penalties on this drive.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Still going with that Rayvon touchdown prediction?
Yep.
What kind of play?
15-yard crossing pattern in and off to the races.
15 yards?
Yep.
I think if Rayvon scores, he's not more than 5 yards down the field when he catches the ball. How about that?
15 and cut in.
Here's Sammy dropping back, max protect, down the field, and there's Rayvon. Look at that. It's more like 20 yards down the
That's
field,
all right.
but it'll pick up the first down. Don't sound too disappointed. I know it's not a touchdown, but it's still a first down. Nicely done, Coach. 2:10 to go in the half. Saints were at, what, first and 23?
Yep.
And they picked up on 3rd down and 13 through the air. Liam Eldridge, jet motion. They counter with Pregame going left. Cuts it back inside. Second level, taken down at about the 36. It's a pickup of 4. Give him the 37-yard line there, Dave.
Yeah, and again, you're getting that line, or you're getting a lot of yardage inside. We've seen it the last 3-4 weeks.
2nd and 6.
Pick up a 4, makes it 2nd and 6. You can do a lot of different things offensively when you're faced with these situations instead of 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 12.
Bunches right, Eldridge motion.
Ooh.
Sam kept it, but nice tackle at the line of scrimmage. That's their big defensive end, Bernard Buhake. You want to talk about big, Dave? Bernard is 6'7", 245.
Nothing compared to what the Saints will have to face tonight at the University of Illinois.
Yeah, 7 foot 285. Kofi Cockburn waiting for the Saints basketball team. Exhibition game today. USF down in Champaign. We're going to be down there for that, so you can follow us on Twitter. I don't have any control of the St. Francis Twitter account, but I'll put some photos and videos up there on my own. At Nick with a mic, by the way. 3rd down and 5. Here's Sam. Blitz shown. Throws high. Ravon threw his hands off his helmet and out of bounds. I think he probably would have been out of bounds even if he did catch it. That brings up 4th down. And the kicking unit coming on. Brian Madej. Is he going to punt it?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
I'll tell you what.
Why?
Maybe watch for a fake here.
Yeah. They've gone for it on 4th and 10 before today.
But to be honest with you,
39 seconds to go.
Yeah, and you're up 21. And why give him 40 yards of field?
Yeah. Good snap back to Brian. He'll angle it right. Kind of came off the end of the side of his foot, and it'll go out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he was trying to get it inside the 20, but got a little bit too far off the side of his foot.
Brian Madej, 24 punts this year. 3 over 50. He has at least one about 60 yards, I believe, too. 8 of them have been inside the 20. They're going to mark this at the 19, so give him another one inside the 20. Now 9 punts.
From the 19.
Well, you going to try to do something if you're
Gosh,
St.
I don't know.
Ambrose?
Maybe you just go into the locker room and lick your wounds and try to figure it out here if you're the Bees. Nothing that they have done, offensively or defensively, has been working against the Saints today.
48 yards of offense. Where'd you hear that number before? Let's see how good you are.
There's the snap to give. Bouye. Hit by the linebacker. It's got to be Chris in the middle of the field. Yeah, Chris Johnson with the stick and the tackle. Pickup of 3 yards. Where have I heard, 48?
Yep.
In terms of offensive yardage?
Yep.
48. I don't know.
The Bears.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Who was that against?
Yeah.
That was
Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah. So,
2nd down and 8.
if you know how bad the Bears played that day, that's how great St. Francis's defense is playing through the first 30 minutes of this contest this afternoon.
And we have come to halftime, and it has been the best half of football from St. Francis that I can remember in the last 5 years. They have been outstanding. We're not going to do commercials just because we're broadcasting online today, so we can take a look at some of the numbers here. Individually, for Sam Tumulty, 11 for 18 passing, 115 yards. But on the ground, he's been amazing. 18 carries, 153 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Pregame Barberan's carried it 6 times for 23 yards. Liam Eldridge, a couple of sweeps for 9 yards. And the leading receiver is Ravon Johnson, as per usual. 7 catches for 67 yards. Liam Eldridge has caught 2 for 21. Trenton Perry, Pregame Barberan each have pulled in a catch as well. But really, it's all about the St. Francis defense today. They've allowed just 2 first downs to St. Ambrose. Tom Casey, the quarterback, just 3 for 14 for 12 yards, which is amazing given how Tom Casey has performed. This is no scrub quarterback. over 50 yards, or over 1,000 yards on 50% passing and 13 touchdowns to 7 interceptions coming into this game. Those are some pretty good numbers. But Tom Casey has been slightly inaccurate today, to be fair. But the numbers are very, very low, and a lot of that is because of the St. Francis defense. Not much more on the ground for St. Ambrose. 9 carries and 31 yards for Ray Bouye. Trenton Nunn's carried it 2 times for 8 yards. The 3 receptions, 2 have went to Whitman, 1 to the superback Sam Kerr. We're going to take a little breather here and rest the voices, and in the meantime, we'll let you enjoy the music of the St. Ambrose Marching Band as the dance crew performs right now. Again, your halftime score is 21-0. St. Francis in control here in Davenport.
Ladies and gentlemen, your SAU dance team. For today's halftime performance, the St. Ambrose University Fighting Bee Band will be performing their 2021 production, Rise Above, a hero's triumph over tragedy. This year's show highlights our favorite self-made superheroes who have risen to the occasion to let their greatness speak for itself, even after hardship or tragedy. Today's performance will include the themes from some of our favorite superhero franchises, starting with Marvel's Avengers. Debuting in 2012, Alan Silvestri's timeless, stoic theme propelled the franchise into classic standby, with the film grossing over $1.5 billion. This opening theme lays the foundation for all things heroic. Batman, the original self-made superhero. Join the Fighting B-Band in stepping back to the iconic 1989 Batman film, headlined by Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and featuring Danny Elfman's evocative score. This film paved the way for our favorite comic book heroes to grace the silver screen. While not your typical superhero, Harley Quinn is a highly intelligent character who lifts herself above toxic environments on a regular basis. A trained psychiatrist, the snappy, exuberant Harley Quinn is perfectly showcased by the feminist anthem, "You Don't Own Me." Then, to finish our show's theme of celebrating deserving heroes, the character of Black Panther, played by the late Chadwick Boseman, highlights the journey of a rising into the role of the chieftain of the Wakadan Panther clan. While being a poignant story in the Marvel Universe, this story is culturally significant, bringing representation of black heroes to the big screen. Relating to characters on screen is necessary, not merely for us to feel seen and understood, but also for others who need to see and understand us. Ladies and gentlemen, get up and on your feet and clap along with the St. Ambrose University fight song.
You saying that Beckendorf was in there last drive? Welcome back out here to Davenport. My name's Nick. Dave back up here in the press box high atop Brady Street Stadium. It's 21-zip St. Francis, and it is all St. Francis through the first half. We already went over some of those halftime numbers, and I think everyone remembers those. It's like I said, it's just all St. Francis. But the question is, what are you talking about in the locker room, right? And it's got to be you're winning. You haven't won. You got to keep your foot on that gas pedal because anything can happen in this second half.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't rest on your laurels, and that's something that St. Francis has done. One thing we didn't mention as we closed out the first half, Nick, Saints have not given up a point now in 6 quarters.
Great point. Yeah, shutout last week against Judson, and so far 21-0 at the end of this first half. I'd love to go through the record books and see if you can find the last time. Well, it'd be hard to do that 6 quarters, but how long has St. Francis not allowed a point? Oof. It had to be a long time. And I was just talking to some of the assistant coaches in the booth next door, and I was telling them I haven't seen a Saints team put on a performance like that in a matter of years. It has been a long time since we've seen such a dominant performance on both sides of the football. Special teams really hasn't factored into this game very much at all. It's been Sam Tumulty on the offensive side just going absolutely crazy, making every right decision over 100 yards passing, over 150 yards rushing. Defensively, they're throwing a shutout so far, allowing just 2 first downs, 51 total yards against the St. Ambrose team that, let's not forget, beat Olivet Nazarene just last week. I know Olivet didn't have their starting quarterback, but they got a pretty good defense down there in Bourbonnais, and St. Ambrose was able to put a lot of points on the board against them. Today, different story. Maybe it's one of those, big win hangover type of situations. I don't know, but it's all Saints today so far.
And I'll tell you what, you can go back and you can say, well, Judson was a first-year program. This football at St. Ambrose has been around since I think it's been since the 1880s.
Over 100 years, yeah.
Yeah, and, you're doing that against a team like this, a team that, as you said, has dominated the Saints over the past 4 years especially, and 17 out of the 27 times in this series.
Yep. I saw one of the players send out a tweet early this morning that the revenge tour starts today. And so far, so good as the opening kick to the second half taken by one of the Ambrose returners. And he'll dive to the 29-yard line. That's a return of about 19 yards. And here comes, well, I'm not sure, because Tom Casey started the game at quarterback for Olivet for St. Ambrose, but we didn't even notice, but John Beckendorf, the backup quarterback who has seen time as the starter in his years here at St. Ambrose, was the quarterback at in the last half. So, yeah, it's going to be number 17, John Beckendorf, a very capable quarterback. He, like I said, he was a starter for a year or two a couple of years ago. Was outworked in the offseason by Tom Casey, but Casey ineffective today against the Saints defense, and we'll see if Beckendorf can handle it. On the ground to Bouye, and they're going to start just where we ended up. Hitting the backfield, was able to make something out of nothing, got about a yard on the play, but the run defense for St. Francis has been stout.
Yeah, again, Mike Whitney on the stop that time, and we've called his name out like 3 times in the last 5 or 6 plays.
Beckendorf in the shotgun. Bouye moves up to his left hip. Handoff. Nope. Beckendorf's going to keep it. He's hitting the backfield, and here comes the help to put him down at the 29-yard line. Terrence Nicholson drops him for a loss.
Cameron Holman slows him up, and then Terrence Nicholson finishes him off. Loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 10 for St. Ambrose.
The second time Nicholson has dropped someone behind the line of scrimmage this season.
The Bees 1 of 7 on 3rd down today.
3 wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Ball left hash. Snap to Beckendorf. Here comes the blitz from St. Francis. Beckendorf rolls out of it. Checks it down. Can they make the open field tackle? And he'll be about a yard shy, I think.
Yep.
A nice move by the wide receiver for St. Ambrose. I believe it was Sam Kerr, their big, what they call super back. 6'5", 240, but the effort was made defensively. The help came over just in time for the Saints, and they're going to force the punt.
Yeah, it was actually Blake Whitman, and he he was about 7 yards in, and then made a nice little swivel move, and I thought he's going to get over there, but the Saint defense came up, stopped him a yard short, and Bees are going to have to punt again.
Hunsicker, one of the best punters in the nation, just launched one out of a cannon. He sends Scott Tumulty back to the 8, and he runs inside the 5, and he goes down at the 1-yard line. You take the good with the bad, and this one was a bad one from Scott Tumulty. He caught it at about the 10, and he ran down just shy of the goal line. It was nearly a safety.
Yep. Ali Francois, sophomore defensive back from LeClaire, Iowa, with great coverage on that play and a phenomenal punt.
Yeah.
It was what? It was picked up at the 10-yard line, so what, about a 60-yard punt?
Yep, it was a 50-yard punt with a negative 10-yard return.
Wow.
First down for the Saints. Thankfully, they mark him at the 2. That's generous. Here's Sam Tumulty from the end zone. They run inside. Parade Barberin with a great run out to the 9. He'll pick up 7 yards and a very tough 7 yards. And how about that? The younger brother say, hey, bro, come on, man. What do you got to put me in this position for? This team is so fun. Second down, and we'll call it 4 from the 10-yard line for St. Francis. Snap back to Sam. Give to Pere. Huge hole in the middle. Up past the 20 down to the 23-yard line. Pere a bit slow to get up. I think he's okay, but what a gaping hole made on the right side of that line.
14-yard pickup for Pere. Building off that 118-yard, 3-touchdown performance a week ago. He's going to come out limping a little bit. Not sure if it's the ankle or the knee.
Pere goes out. Into the game comes James Zillinger, the freshman. 3 wide receivers and a wing on the left side. Snap, it's going to be Zillinger getting his opportunity. He rolls forward. Ball comes out at the end. They're going to call him down as the ball continues to wobble on the turf. A gain of...
James Zillinger, the ball carrier.
And still moving the stick forward about 5 yards up to the 29-yard line.
How about that? Guy comes in right off the bench and picks up 6 yards.
And he's going to remain in the game, yeah.
Yeah, and this is, you're down to your third string now with
Wendell Newton out with a concussion from last week. Pere Barberin limped off the field a play ago, and now we're to the freshman James Zillinger. But again, your best runner is the quarterback, so don't get that twisted. It is Sam keeps it, gets to about the 30, no gain, third down coming up for St. Francis. You're always on those third down numbers, right, Coach?
I am. 4 for 10 were the Saints, and they were 3 of 4 on fourth down. So combined 7 of 14 between third and fourth down, 50%.
Yeah, math right there.
That's going to give you a 21-zip advantage, especially when the other team is 2 for 10.
11. Third down. 5 to go. Ball at the 29-yard line of the Saints. Perry, motion man. Sam, a little bit of trouble. Here comes the pressure. Sam's going to try to do it himself. He can't quite get there, just 2. It's going to be fourth down. I imagine they're going to punt it away here.
Ooh, it's close.
Oh, yeah, he fell forward a little bit further than I thought. It's going to be fourth down and 1, but with the way the Saints D is playing, no shame in punting it away here. Brian Madej, we just saw what Jackson Hunsicker did. We'll see if Brian Madej can send one in the moon. He's going to have a little bit of the breeze behind him. Hunsicker did that into a gentle breeze. Madej is going to have it at his back here. We'll see if they give their return men a little bit of opportunity. Their punt block is on.
Fake.
I'm not sure if it was a fake or they just got to him.
No, it's a fake.
Brian Madej, the first down.
And he gets his shoulder into the other guy, and the St. Francis bench on the far sideline is as excited as they've been all afternoon. They love it right now.
Brian Madej,
look at him.
He's getting mobbed on the far sideline of the Saints. He just put his shoulder down and leveled Dante Sibley, who is their starting corner, by the way. Brian Madej with about a 10-yard carry, right? 14-yard carry by Brian Madej for the first down.
It looked like he was going to throw, but I think that was just a coy, and he was running the whole time.
Another inside run. Zillinger past the 50 to the 49, a 5-yard pickup. The Saints are doing it in every way, shape, and form today.
Boy, they are just pumped up on that far sideline. And how about just give all the credit in the world to this offensive line. They've been absolutely outstanding this afternoon.
2nd and 5, and what a demoralizing play for the Bees. Snap back to Sam, handoff Zillinger. Inside run again, and he's near the first down line to gain. They're going to give him at least the 45. The opposite side.
There you go.
The opposite side give him the 46. They flipped it over the third, so it's going to be third down and inches for USF. Quickly to the line they go. Under center Sam, and he'll just sneak it forward for a first down. With the way this offensive line has been playing, third down and 1 is easy.
Quarterback sneak picks up the first down.
First down, Saints. Three wide receivers. Wing left. Zillinger, right hip of Sam Tumulty. Sam's going to look to throw. Pump fakes again. Nothing doing downfield. He's going to tuck it. He'll pick up 5, 10 yards, and another first down, but a flag comes in behind the runner.
Yeah, that might be on the Saints. It might have been against Dan Getch.
Blocking the back.
Not sure if it, yeah, I'm thinking that.
Get the official call from our referee today.
Anthony Brown on the defensive stop.
The referee is Dirk Riles. Best name of any referee in the NAIA.
He's got that little southern twang.
Blocking the back,
yep.
number 88.
There you go. Dan Getch with the block in the back for St. Francis. Would have been at least a first down, I think.
Yeah, so you're gonna give him 5 yards and then take it back 10 yards from there. So it'll be 1st and 15.
Line of scrimmage will now be the 47 of St. Ambrose.
3rd penalty for the game, and all 3 have been against the Saints.
One of the least penalized teams in the nation. First and 15 after the penalty. 4 wide receivers on the field for USF. Tumulty, quick pass, Ravon, one-handed grab. He goes up high to get it, and he picks up another 5 after the catch. It was a short pass, only about 5 yards, and it looked like the ball got away from Sam a little bit, but Ravon able to leap up and just nab it out of the air with his right hand and pick up about 10. 2nd down and 5.
Took a page out of the Chris Johnson playbook.
What a great post-game interview with Chris last week, too. We talked about that interception. He's like, I just slid at the end. I didn't want to fumble it. 2nd down and 5 for the brown and gold. Play action. Quick pass again to the outside. Ravon wide open at the 30. Bust through to the 21-yard line. Another pickup. Another first down for USF. They're giving so much space, so much cushion to Ravon Johnson.
That's why I just believe that he's just going to break free one of these times.
They're going to have to start creeping up, and when he does, see ya. And now they are. So corners are a little bit in, but a little.
Who are you going to give the carry to on that one, Nick?
Oh, you're giving that to the running back. You're giving that to the freshman. Sam, just as he tried to give the ball to Zillinger, the defense was there to make the stop, and both Sam Tumulty and Zillinger both were wrapping up the football, trying not to fumble it. But yeah, you give that one to the freshman. At least if this was a home game. I'm not sure how they're going to score it here.
Two-yard loss, 2nd and 12 for the Saints at the 23.
They gave it to Sam, by the way.
Yeah.
They didn't make the transition.
Make the transition, right.
2nd down and 12. Johnson motion, play action to him. Dropping, throwing, incomplete. Looking for Eldridge on the crossing route. 6:21 to go, 3rd quarter. Saints still lead it, 21-zip. It's going to be 3rd down and long. 3rd and 12 here for USF at the St. Ambrose 28-yard line. Ravon and Dan Getch right, Liam Eldridge, and I believe it's Coran left. Zillinger, right hip of Sam Tumulty. Eldridge goes in motion left to right. Almost a fumbled snap, but Sam has it, dives forward, still on his feet, close to a first down to the 11 or 12-yard line. Ooh, actually they put him at the 13, so he's going to be a solid yard shy, 4th down. Give Brian Medea a chance at some points here.
This is the 16th play of the drive, Nick. This is going to surpass the one that went 15 plays for 86 yards and only got stopped by the fumble.
4th down and 1, and they're going to go for it. You want to keep your foot on the gas pedal? This is that. 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right here on 4th down and 1, deep inside the red zone.
3 for 4 on the day.
Ravon in motion. Fake it to him. Sam's going to go looking for the edge. Turns the corner. First down, Saints. Dives to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. Brown and gold. Jeez.
Did you like that little stutter step there?
A little jump at the end.
Yeah, it was almost like a horse.
Yeah, he jumped over the diving tackle just to pick up the first down. His instincts are unbelievable. Inside, Zillinger to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal.
James Zillinger, the ball carrier.
17 plays. 95 yards.
Yeah, this play started at, or this drive started at 12:55. It's 5:10
Sam's going to keep it, and he's going to Sunday stroll into the end zone. His 4th touchdown of the game. 27-0. Start looking up the record books here because
I think that one ties a record. If I'm
thought
not
5
mistaken.
was the record, but I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna pull that up here on GoFightingSaints.com.
I want to go. I want to go. Vic Perchalski is still the. He had
touchdowns
the
in a game.
Yeah, he had. I think he did have 4. He was a fullback in the early years of the program, like late 80s.
Extra point on the way from Brian Madej, and that one. Picture perfect. 5:06 to go. 28-0. Unbelievable drive for the University of St. Francis. 18 plays, 98 yards. That took about 7 minutes. 8 minutes, actually.
Yeah, 18 plays, 98 yards, 7 minutes, 50 seconds.
Whew. It doesn't get better than that. Did you
so
see
he's
this?
going to go over to the sideline now and tell his brother, you ever do that again?
For those who don't remember, this whole drive started with a punt return from Scott Tumulty. He caught it at the 10, but tried to make something happen. He ran backward, and they caught him at the 2. So a rare mistake from a Tumulty brother, but then his younger brother cleaned it up and just drove 8 minutes, 98 yards for a touchdown.
Well, somebody's going to owe somebody else dinner.
You bet.
At the Tumulty house. Saints ready to kick it off. Brian Mayday. Low line drive.
Oh, they're going to kick it across the ground.
30-yard line to the 35. Now up to the 40 before finally being stopped. See who was on the tackle for the Saints on that drive. A little bit slow to get up, and that is Mike Whitney.
Most touchdowns in a game was 7. Actually,
that's a team record, though. You're looking individual.
Yep.
First and 10 Bs from their own 41.
St. Ambrose will have it first and 10. Well, Nick looks at the record books, and
most touchdowns in a game is 5, and you were absolutely right, Vic. Say the last name.
Perchalski
against St. Joseph's back in 1989,
and Mike Whitney slow to come off the field. Went down. I don't know if it's his shoulder. He walks off under his own power, but he did kneel down for a little bit, but now comes off the field, and St. Ambrose will start its second possession of this third quarter, and it comes with just 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter at Brady Street Stadium. Beautiful afternoon, 55 degrees. Quarterback throws to the right, has his man, and he drops it. It was just a simple flare out to the right side. Probably would have went for a loss as Logan Johnson was right there on the coverage, and instead it'll be 2nd and 10.
I was checking on the record for rushing yards in a game.
Oh, that's
Dwayne Milton, over 300 yards, and I don't know if he's going to come close to that. It's because he's doing such a great job throwing the ball. He doesn't need to. Here's quarterback slides down at about the 49-yard line. A pickup of only give him the 47. Oof. Rough spot for St. Ambrose. So 3rd down and 4 coming up after the run by Beckendorf.
3rd and 4.
Yeah, all they've had is a 3-and-out series so far. So this is just the second drive for St. Ambrose here in the second half, the third quarter.
Beckendorf to throw, nothing doing. He has to scramble up to the 49, just a gain of 2.
They're going to have to punt again.
Jeez, another 4th down and 2. And I mean, how many times you want to give it to St. Francis here? You're down 28-0, and your season rides on this game if you're St. Ambrose.
They're going to go for it here.
Yeah, I don't blame them, to be honest, just given the situation in the game and of their season. With the way that the schedules have worked out, you need to go for it. You need to make something happen.
Yeah, you got to get some kind of momentum going. Right now, 2 for 13 on either 3rd or 4th down.
Bouye the carry. And he is stuffed at the 50. He is shy, but a flag comes in behind the defense.
That's, I think, going to be holding, and it'll be St. Francis ball anyway.
Wow.
Flag on the play.
We'll wait for the official call from our referee on the field.
Yep.
Holding, number 57 of the offense.
There you go.
10-yard penalty, previous spot, 4-10.
Can you decline it?
No, that's decline. That.
Yeah. Curry's 10 yards onto the field. Say, hey, no, we're declining it. And I don't know what he's so upset about, but
I think he's just teasing with the official on that far side.
it's like, come on, guys.
So the Saints will take over at the 50-yard line. 2 series for St. Ambrose in this third quarter. A net, let's see, 10, 9 plus 8, 17 yards.
Jeez.
6 plays, 17 yards, and the Saints have it at the 50-yard line.
And here comes the St. Francis offense. You expect just a heavy diet of Sam Tumulty and James Zillinger on the ground here because, well, they haven't been able to stop it.
Zillinger back in there again. Pregame we haven't seen since he came off the field, limping a little bit.
Zillinger, a freshman from Joliet West High School. Play action. Sam's going to throw. Rolling right, tucks it, goes up to about the 42-yard line. There comes a late flag penalty on St. Ambrose, pushing Sam Tumulty as he was out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 43, flag on the play.
They mark him at the 43, so it's a
7-yard.
It depends on which official you look at, but a 7 or an 8-yard carry, but they're going to add 15 more onto it.
First penalty of the afternoon for St. Ambrose, and it's a big one.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 33 of the defense.
This is the 101st game in the head coaching career of Coach Curry. He's 47-53. Nice win last week on his 100th game. A shutout win over Judson, as it should be. He's a defensive guy, defensive background. It's fitting his 100th game was a shutout. First down, the Saints have it at the Ambrose 28. Zillinger inside run, wrapped down, and spun to the 22-yard line.
I'll tell you what, we've seen Zillinger just a little bit on special teams play, but I'll tell you what, he's got some good footwork.
Yeah. He's very quick. And
yeah.
They're running him inside. I'd like to see him on the edge just to see what he can do in the open field. But St. Francis getting behind that offensive line is just moving people. Tumulty, he'll take it again. 15-10, untouched touchdown. He goes into the end zone for touchdown number 5.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
And that ties the record that you just talked about.
You bet. Sam Tumulty will put his name at the top of the record books for St. Francis with his 5th touchdown today. And by the way, there's only 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yikes. This is total domination.
You bet.
Just trying to see if they added in the last play.
Yep.
The kick is up, and it is good.
Tumulty, 28 carries, 211 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Total offense, 68 plays for the Saints, 445 yards. St. Ambrose, 32 plays, 69 yards. 32 plays, Nick.
32 plays?
I mean, your average is around anywhere between 65 and 80 plays in a game.
The alumni office, or you can go to SAU Athletics website at saubs.com.
35 zip, and they're all from Sam Tumulty.
And the blinking continues on the defense, and that's, they want this shutout again. 2 shutouts in a row going into Olivet Nazarene.
Yep, you want all the momentum you can as you go up against them.
Looking at some of the other numbers, St. Ambrose, as we mentioned, just 2 for 13 between 3rd and 4th down, while the Saints are 10 for 19. Time of possession, 29-19 to just 12:47 for St. Ambrose. Here's the kickoff, goes deep. to the end zone, and they're going to take it from there. Out goes the receiver to the 10, 15, 20, up to the 25 before he gets swarmed over. And that's where St. Ambrose will take over with 2:44 left to play here in the third quarter. All St. Francis 35-0. Saints back at home next week to take on Olivet Nazarene University. Olivet, who were they playing today, Coach?
I have that information for you. Olivet Nazarene hosting Missouri Baptist today. That game going on right now.
The other teams that were 2-1, St. Xavier and Roosevelt. There's the
Beckendorf is taken down in the backfield. Another loss offensively. Oshikai Ebekumi with another tackle for a loss. How about this? Ebekumi had 5 tackles coming into the game today. 4 of them were tackles for a loss. 3 of those were sacks.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago? Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
3-yard loss here.
Second down and 13 for St. Ambrose, and they have gotten nothing going offensively, and they've been not able to stop St. Francis defensively. Beckendorf in the gun. They give to their fullback, and he is stood up by Chris Johnson. And, they want a turnover. It was Cam Holman who came away with the football. They're going to say his forward progress was at least stopped. But it's going to be 3rd down and 11. Another short gain for St. Ambrose.
3rd and 11.
If they don't get it here, it'll be 3 straight series, 3 and out. And that's been their only series here in the second half.
Here's Beckendorf to throw. Pressure coming up the middle from Mike Johnson, and he just has to run it out of bounds at the 23. It's going to go for a loss of 2 yards.
And it'll be Chris Johnson that makes the tackle.
Mike Johnson flushed him out, and his brother Chris finished him off at the end. 1:21 to go in the third quarter. Saints up 35-0.
14 yards of total offense here in the third quarter for St. Ambrose.
The Bees averaging 1.89 yards per play. Hunsicker on to punt it away. He's been their best player today. Rocket for Scott Tumulty. Bounces at the 35, right to Scott. He's not going to go backward this time. He's just going to hold on to the football with 2 hands and just take his 2 yards. You think Sam told him to knock it right off? He didn't try to make anything happen that time. Just let the offense come back on the field. Let his younger brother go to work. 60 seconds to go in the third.
1st and 10, St. Francis.
Zillinger back in for the Saints along with Tumulty. Got to give a shout out to that offensive line after this play again.
They're doing great. Sam in the shotgun. 1st down and 10. First play of the drive. It's going to be Zillinger behind the left guard. Knutson, he's picked up about 4 yards up to the 36-yard line. Knutson and Wentworth, Ashton Sorgia, Jose Sanchez, Marcelo Holguin, offensive lineman today, just dominating in the trenches. Don't forget, St. Ambrose is the NAIA's leader in sacks, and Sam Tumulty has barely felt any pressure today.
There's Zillinger again, 3 yards.
Up to the 39-yard line he goes. Final 20 seconds of our third quarter.
He's wrapped up by Vivian Titus Porter.
Well, I'll tell you what, the season numbers for the Saints are going to look awful good after today.
No need to run a play here.
No, sir. That's the end of the third quarter. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 when we come back for the fourth. But the way the Saints are going, yards per play, for St. Francis. They pick up about 6.5 every single time they touch the ball. St. Ambrose under 2.
And that's why
I've never been a part of a St. Francis football game that they have dominated in the way they have today. I can't even remember. Well, there's been a few games back in 2011, the E.J. White, that era of St. Francis football where they really took it to the lower rung teams, your Lindenwood Bellevilles, but not a team like St. Ambrose.
Nope.
St. Francis doesn't dominate St. Ambrose like they are today. They don't do that against an Olivet Nazarene or those middle to top tier teams in the conference. We're seeing something special today.
Yeah, like I said, 452 yards of total offense, 70 plays. St. Ambrose, half that number of plays, 35 for 66. And the possession time is just incredible. 30 minutes, 19 seconds for the Saints, 14:41 for St. Ambrose.
It's going to be a nice bus ride home if they can finish off the final 15 minutes here.
They might not need the buses.
Sam Tumulty throwing on first down. Ray Johnson on the post. Taken down at the 40-yard line. It's a 21-yard pitch and catch to Rayvon.
Sam Tumulty's pass
I
complete.
think it was about 28 yards.
Tackled by Dante Sidley.
Was it from the 39? Was
Yep.
that, yeah.
First down.
You're right.
We got that on tape, right? We can run that back at some point. First down for St. Francis.
You heard me
40
say it a little bit meekly.
A little disappointed in it. Oh, my goodness. Zillinger pushed backward. He picked up 1, but he was knocked back about 5 yards. Second down. They're not even going to give him the 1. Second down and 10 at the 40. Are the Saints just going to run home from here? Just going to jog down I-80? They got to be feeling real good.
Yeah.
Real good. Three wide receivers on the field. Liam Eldridge wide left. Rayvon Johnson wide right. Karan slot left. Zillinger inside carry. He gets to the second level before he's popped at the 35-yard line. Give him the 34. A pickup of 6. Third down and 4 coming up for USF. St. Francis, for everything they've done well, 6 for 14 on third downs. I kind of thought it'd be better than that.
Well, again, I mean, yeah, they've had 14, but, you know, you're getting so many big yardage plays on first down and second down, and they've had, 73 offensive plays.
4 wide receivers, Zillinger, right hip of Sam Tumulty. Is this the last drive for Sam if they score? In the air, and I thought that Rayvon might run under the tipped ball, but it falls harmlessly to the Brady Street Stadium turf. Fourth down, St. Francis. Line of scrimmage is 34, so you're talking about a field goal over 50 yards, but Brian Medeiros just going to punt it.
Or is he?
Or is he? Yeah, he faked it last time, and he not only picked up a first down, but he leveled a quarterback in the process and had his team mob him on the bench. Kind of the feel of who was the punter? Gosh, I can't remember his name. The
I know
kid
you're
from
talking
England.
about.
Shame on me.
Josh Holberry.
Yeah, Holberry was a rugby player, and this punt is a beauty, but it's about a yard deep into the end zone. Josh Holberry, the punter and place kicker for St. Francis, but he's an old rugby player and not afraid of contact is a way to put it. And every time he was out there on kickoff coverage, he wasn't just the kicker who stayed back. He was the guy. He was involved.
Yeah, he was. Well, he was used to that. I said, "Were you prepared for that hit?" He said, yeah, I played rugby.
Yeah. I caught him in a hotel room, in a hotel lobby on one of the road trips. It must have been Sacramento State a couple of years ago, where I was talking to him about that. Yeah, old rugby player, so he knew how to kick and he knew how to hit. And every time he did, it got the bench fired up. Here's Bouye looking for the edge, but he's cut off by Chris Johnson. Now you just want to avoid injury here, right? 13 minutes to go, 35-0. And I get you want to throw another shutout. That'd be pretty cool. But with the games on the schedule coming up, St. Xavier, Olivet, Roosevelt, you don't want to get anyone banged up in a game that you got pretty much in the bag. Beckendorf in the shotgun, looking to throw. Checks it down to his running back, Bouye. Nice blocking out ahead to the 30. We're going to have a hold here against Tumulty.
Yeah.
Tumulty was being held the entire way down the field, and I think everyone in the stadium could see it.
Well, and it didn't help that the guy, let's see, who's that? Their offensive, or their tight end, number 81, Sherrod Denaji, or Deneg, is wearing pink gloves.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Yeah, I mean, clear as day. Tumulty was trying to break free just to run the opposite way.
He should still get maybe a first down. Where are they marking it from? If they mark it from there, it should still be a first down.
Well, should mark it back where it started around the 35, but I'm not sure exactly where they threw the flag down at.
And this is their first down for St. Ambrose. I'm just trying to look back. Since about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Carry again for Ambrose, and again not going anywhere.
Cameron Holman there, Brian King, and Mike Whitney back in there. That's good to see Whitney back in. He came out with probably was just a stinger, but he's back out there, and a loss of 1 on the play.
And if you are listening to this game right now and you're interested in the men's basketball team, they are playing in an exhibition game down in Champaign against the University of Illinois. We're not going to broadcast the game, but Dave and I will be down there, so you can follow us on Twitter. We'll put up some photos and videos and let you know how that game's going. That should be a lot of fun. Here's Beckendorf looking to throw. Nothing there. Like all day long, nothing has been there. But he does a great job of scrambling and finds an open receiver, and this is their biggest play of the game. Goes for about 25, 26 yards.
Yep.
And a first down for St. Ambrose. Finally something to cheer about here at Brady Street for the St. Ambrose fans.
Yeah, they're over 100 yards now. 39 plays, 114 yards of offense.
Sam Tumulty has rushed for 211 by himself. Beckendorf into the flat. His Nunn is running back out to the 40-yard line, pickup of 2.
And you know the St. Francis defense, they want that shutout again.
Yeah, I'm not sure they want to come out of the game now that they're in the St. Francis territory. Like, all right, no, we're stopping this right here.
And it'll be definitely 4-down territory on every series for St. Ambrose. Not going to punt or go for a field goal, trailing 35-0.
5 defensive backs for St. Francis. Here comes the pressure. Beckendorf on the run, has his receiver. Another first down up to the 22-yard line. It was complete to Hunter Thompson, the senior from...
Might have a penalty here. I think we have a holding on St. Ambrose.
Oh, no.
So it was at the line of scrimmage.
Holding, number 59 of the offense.
Oh, you can wipe out the completion. Penalty called on Brian Sisura, the junior offensive lineman out of Tinley Park. So it takes off about a 19-yard pass play, and they go backward 10 from about the line of scrimmage. So they're back near the 50-yard line now.
Total of 5 penalties for 50 yards between the two teams this afternoon. That one was a big one.
Second down and 17 to go for St. Ambrose. Inside carry. Bouye might be a face mask penalty coming up here as he takes it to the original line of scrimmage. It'll give him 10 yards. So 3rd down and 9 coming up. No flag on that play.
Again, definitely 2 more plays in this series. Not going to punt and not going to go for a field goal.
5 defensive backs, 3 linebackers, 3 linemen. They're going to rush 4. Beckendorf steps up. He's just going to slide his way into a first down. Oh, he actually runs over Terrence Nicholson in the back. And a first down for St. Ambrose.
15-yard pickup.
I thought he was going to slide. I think the entire St. Francis defense thought he was going to slide, but he stayed on his feet and actually put an exclamation point on the end of that run.
Somebody to come up and step up with an interception here.
Beckendorf, no drop, quick pass right side. It's complete to Yemi Ward, and Scott Tumulty throws him out of bounds at the 20. That's a pickup of 6 yards. It's the best drive so far for St. Ambrose. 7 plays, 54 yards.
Second and 4.
Actually, 8 plays for 60 yards now on this drive for the Bees.
Down.
On the ground,
Down.
it goes up to about the 18, a yard shy of the first down. King, the running back on the play. 3rd down and 1 for St. Ambrose. 9:22 to go in the game. It's 35-zip St. Francis.
Oh, you're in the red zone.
Yeah, first time today.
This is where the St. Francis defense gets really tough.
Keeper. And he's pushed out of bounds.
4th down.
With no gain on the play. Yep, 4th down and 1. Yeah, they're going to have to go for it. Beckendorf a lot more efficient running the St. Ambrose offense than Tom Casey was to start the game.
Yeah,
They're gonna have
got a bigger build on him,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Looks like a running back.
They're going to have a little quarterback controversy for next game. 4th down and 1 for St. Ambrose. Still looking for their first points of this game. Quarterback keeper, and he's going to pick it up inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal for the Bees for the first time today.
Reminds me of that with his build and everything. Reminds me of, is it Tyson Hill with the New Orleans Saints?
Taysom Hill, yeah.
Yeah, Tyson Hill.
The give to the back. Hitting the backfield. Still on his feet, but tripped up at the 6-yard line. I think he was tripped by Oshigai Ebekumi, but he was kind of pancaked, blocked, and he kind of just tripped over Ebekumi's feet.
13th play of this drive for St. Ambrose.
Second down and 6.
This is more plays than they've had in their first 3 drives of the half. They had 9 plays up until this series in this half.
Beckendorf looking to throw. Pressure coming, evades. Batted in the air and incomplete. Oshikai Ebekumi knocked it out of the air.
John Beckendorf's pass is knocked down. 30 goal.
God, you'd love to just see another shutout here. I'll tell you what, yeah, I would focus on the quarterback right now. He's had a couple of those quarterback draws, and that's where they've gotten a lot of yardage. I think they're going to come back with that right here.
Beckendorf, 8 carries for 26 yards. Here's the give to King, and the first touchdown of the game for St. Ambrose. No flags on the field. Touchdown. Signs of life for the St. Ambrose Bees. Go ahead.
14th play of the drive results in the touchdown, caps off an 80-yard march that took 5 minutes and 5 seconds.
Caden King, a 7-yard touchdown carry. Extra point attempt here for St. Ambrose. Looks good from here. And it is. 8:05 to go, 35-7. So St. Francis defense goes 7.5 quarters before they give up a touchdown, before they give up a point. So I think we're going to have another MSFA Player of the Week here. Likely going to be Sam Tumulty.
Yeah, he could possibly get national honors.
Yeah, it's I'd bet on the MSFA Player of the Week honor, and probably pretty likely he'd be in contention for the NAIA offense. But look, there's so many good offenses in the country. Your Morningsides, your Bakers, those kinds of teams are just crazy. So at any moment they could throw up 300 yards and a 35-point afternoon too. But
well, we've got this opportunity. We talked about it in the first half. All credit in the world to the St. Francis cross-country team as well. Huge day for them.
Yeah.
Number 1 ranked women. They win their meet, the Great Lakes Challenge. 9 of the top 25 teams in the nation. As the St. Francis has to call a timeout here on the kickoff. Looking at the men's stats first. Indiana Wesleyan, the top team coming into this meet, 1 of 12. They finished third. St. Mary's, Kansas, which was ranked second, they finished second. And the Saints with the top score, 92 points. Their top 5 runners for the Saints all finished in the top 28 for a total of 92 points. St. Mary, Kansas, 101 and 113 for Indiana Wesleyan. On the women's side, as we pull up those numbers, St. Francis wins there. They are the number 1 ranked team in the nation. More than likely, St. Francis men will be number 1 ranked in the nation after this week. And the Saints, 62 points. Cornerstone second with 76. Taylor third with 112. The Saints had the top 26 runners there. Their top 5 finished in the top 26, including second place, as I can roll it up, Laisha Corona. So Laisha Corona was second in the women's race, but an unbelievable performance this afternoon up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Congratulations to head coach Jeff Barker and his team and their assistant coaches as well. 2 weeks from today, the conference meet, and then 1 month from today is the national meet. So good things happening for the Saints all the way around. Looks
right.
like probably an upset at Illinois tonight, too.
Yeah, you think so? You're just feeling the good vibes, huh?
And we got soccer tonight, men's and women's soccer against St. Xavier.
Zillinger the carry here in the first play of the drive. He picks up 3 up to the Saint 39-yard line. The object of the game right now for St. Francis, run the clock. I was looking at some of the times of these games that we've had, and we haven't had a 3-hour game yet this year. I think the longest game we had was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
I'll tell you what, it was like 3 or 4 years ago, we were talking about this. Every game was like over 3 hours and like 15 minutes.
Well, now we got a run game. And the defense is making stops, you know. 2nd down and 7 for St. Francis. Zillinger the carry again. Ooh, hit hard at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, that's a true freshman coming in and getting a lot of running. He's going to be a little bit sore tomorrow.
Yeah. Eric Maffey taking over at quarterback, by the way. He's got a big arm, too. Eric Maffey has a very strong arm. He can be somewhat inaccurate at times, but he can definitely launch the football down the field.
And Eric just down the road from here, Coal Valley, Illinois.
Oh, yes.
Just right around
Coal Valley.
Which is right around this Davenport, Moline. They call this the Quad Cities, Rock Island, Silvis.
Curran in motion. They'll give it to Curran on the jet sweep. Well, they could cut it up soon enough, and he'll go for a loss of 3. Back to the 40-yard line. 4th down, St. Francis. Madej will likely coming out here and boot it away.
That might be, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is just the 2nd time this afternoon that the Saints will go 3 and out. The first time was on the first drive of the game. And it comes with 5:56 and counting. St. Francis 35, St. Ambrose 7.
Olivet won earlier today. Their homecoming down at Ward Field in Bourbonnais, 37-16 over Missouri Baptist.
Who was the quarterback for that game?
That is a great question because their quarterback was out with injury in their loss to St. Ambrose.
Yep.
Yeah, and Cameron Couch, their backup, played the entire game today too. So we hope that.
And what else we got in the MSFA today?
Well, Olivet with their win over Missouri Baptist. Other games we should check on: Trinity International at St. Xavier. St. Xavier, the heavy favorite in that one. Number 21 ranked team in the country. And then you got Judson hosting Roosevelt later on today. That's up at Dundee Crown High School. 7 o'clock kickoff for that one. Over in the Mideast, though, there's a big game between Concordia, Michigan at Marion. I'm going to take a look at that game too, because that has some playoff implications. If Concordia wins that one, they're going to win the Mid-East and really cement their playoff
Look
spot.
at this one inside the 20, and the ball rolls down to the 15.
The 10th punt this season that Brian Madej has put inside the 20. 5.5 minutes to go in this game.
Well, let's get one more stop and then control the ball the rest of the way and wrap up a 35-7 victory.
One more time, the Saints basketball team in exhibition play later on today at the University of Illinois.
Back-to-back D1 opponents today against Illinois and next Saturday afternoon at Northern Illinois.
Beckendorf, the quarterback for St. Ambrose here. First down and 10, first play of the drive. 5:36 to go in the game. Handoff and hit immediately. Backwards, King dropped for a loss of about 3 or 4 yards on the play. Making the stop for St. Francis, Dasden Jackson, the freshman from Joliet West. Some of the second, third teamers getting some action here today.
No, that was actually Justin Bradley, 33.
Stand corrected. Beckendorf again to throw. Checks it down, middle of the field, complete. And a pickup nearing the first down line to gain. It'll be a couple of yards shy at the 23-yard line. Third down and 2.
Down at the 23. 3rd and 2.
See if the Saints can get a stop here, but more than likely St. Ambrose would also go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here.
The clap and the snap. Beckendorf looking. Again across the middle, Caden King, the running back, out of the backfield, up past the 40, and another big first down for St. Ambrose.
About 18 yards.
Jalen Cooper. Ball on the 41. And that's a St. Ambrose first down.
Caden King, right hit by Beckendorf. They go to King on the ground. He'll run it left side, cuts it up the hash. A leap and a first down. Pickup of 12 for King. 2 first downs in a row. 4:12 to go in the game.
47.
Try to get some other guys in the lineup for the Saints. Jason Hartsfield in the game at the right cornerback spot.
They spin up to the 43-yard line. That's a pickup of 5.
Justin Bradley on the tackle again.
Tackled by Justin Bradley on the 43. 2nd and 6.
Second down and 6 now for Ambrose. 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Pass to the running back out of the backfield, and they're going to score another touchdown. It's going to go 43 yards. Mark Skakna. I believe they have Skakna listed as a defensive back, but that's the name I also heard on the public address here.
Yep.
So sometimes you never know once you get deep into the roster.
Yeah, you get a couple guys that can play both ways. Give them some time. Saints might have to bring their first unit back in. Don't want to do that, but 2 quick scores here for St. Ambrose.
Extra point up and good. 35-14, 3:28 to go. Let's just go ahead and run this one out. Make them use their timeouts. St. Ambrose has all 3 of their timeouts left if they want to stop the clock.
What was, under 100 yards before these 2 series, and now they're up to 251.
Wow, Marion. The Knights beat Concordia today, 25-7.
Wow.
So that's going to shake up the Mid-East now, too. That's going to tie them with Concordia at the top of the Mid-East. So Concordia, the number 5 team in the country, with a win could have locked up a playoff spot. But
didn't Marion lose last week to somebody, or was that 2 weeks ago? I was shocked by the score.
I'm not sure. How about that? Drama across the MSFA, the Midwest and the Mideast. It's a fun year, man. Onside kick coming up for the St. Ambrose Bees.
And having a lot of fun this afternoon have been the men wearing the brown and white
Dan
today.
Getch takes the onside kick right to the gut, catches it cleanly, goes to the ground. St. Francis will start at the Ambrose 47, 48 yard line.
First and 10 from the Ambrose 47.
3:26 to go. Let's see if the offense can move the chains a few times, make them use their timeouts here.
21-point difference right now. 30 of the 35 points coming from the legs of Scott Tumulty. The other 5, the foot of Brian Mayday.
Is it Mayday? Have I been pronouncing his name wrong
I get
for
it
2
all
years?
mixed up. I asked him. What do they call him?
I call him Mayday.
I think they're going to say.
What's the conversation about here? You
know,
if Coach,
the center might have moved the ball.
If Lee Turnbow was here, he'd be losing his mind. Well,
I think you're right.
They're going to wave off the flag. So no flag on the play. First down here for St. Francis, first play of the drive. 3:26 to go in the game. Saints lead at 35-14. Eric Maffey, the quarterback. Zillinger, the carry. 1 yard there for the freshman running back.
They're not going to use their timeouts either.
No, not yet. 3:12 and counting in the ball game.
On the 46, second and 9.
Second down and 10. Maffey still looking for the play. Plenty of time on the clock. They're just going to let it tick. Second down and 9. Ball at the 46. Maffey standing at the 50-yard line to take the snap in the shotgun. Quarterback draw for Eric. Going to pull his best Sam Tumulty impression as he goes for about 3 or 4 yards. Third down. Clock continues to wind. No whistle yet for the timeout for the Bees as we go under 2.5 minutes to go in the game.
Saints back at Jolly Memorial Stadium next week, 1 o'clock kickoff. Busy home day for the Saints next week, 1 o'clock football, 5 o'clock women's soccer, 7:30 men's soccer, and 7 o'clock women's volleyball.
All of those games right here on GoFightingSaints.com, right?
You got it.
Yeah. Terry Bonadonna, the hardest working man in show business. Here's Maffey again on the quarterback draw. Up to the 39-yard or 41-yard line. Fourth down for St. Francis.
Oh, did I not tell you you're doing that for those?
We got a long way to go, bro. You're my ride.
41, fourth and 4.
3:17 is your time. 1:34 left on the clock. These are unbelievably fast games, and we said clock runs when you have two teams that like to run a lot.
St. Francis just taking their time here. They're probably just going to call a timeout?
Yep, call a timeout and then get the punting team on.
Timeout, St. Francis.
So today was a momentum day for St. Francis.
Mm-hmm.
They are going into the last 4 games of the season against the 4 teams who are chasing them in the standings. St. Francis, the only team who's undefeated. You got Ambrose today. You got Roosevelt, Olivet, St. Xavier all on the schedule. They're all 2-1. They all beat up on each other already. So who's going to be the team to knock St. Francis off of the pedestal, right? It's not going to be St. Ambrose today. St. Xavier, or make that St. Francis made a statement today.
Yep.
35-14 over a team that beat Olivet Nazarene already last week. Next up on the schedule for St. Francis is Olivet Nazarene. And the good thing about it is, too, the next 2 out of the 3 games is at home.
Yep. Look at that.
Look at the punch
Right
go all
there.
the way down to the 1 yard line.
Who's on that coverage there?
Scott Tumulty, I believe. I think it was number 8. Oh,
no, 63. That's your long snapper.
Scott Walsh.
Scott Walsh.
The snapper made his way all the way down there. He's so small. No offense, Scott.
Does a great job on snapping, though.
Yeah, can we give him a shout out right now? Scott Walsh, he's been snapping the ball for a couple of years now. The junior out of Sparks, Nevada. 5'11", 220 long snapper. Yeah, he's been doing a great job. You never call his name, which is a testament to the job he's done.
Yep.
St. Ambrose, 63 seconds to go in the game. They're at their 1-yard line. What a great punt by Brian Mayday/Madej. Beckendorf out of his end zone to the 5-yard line, and here comes the cavalry to take him down at the 5.
John Beckendorf, the ball carrier.
The final 54 seconds. Wow, they're going to leave the game with 3 timeouts.
Yeah, just
I figured you'd at least take your timeouts.
Well,
Huh?
again, it's pretty much a dominating performance by the Saints, and why delay the agony?
Snap back to Beckendorf. They're going to hand off to their running back. It's King, I believe, at the 5-yard line, spinning down. I take that back. It's Skokna.
Justin Bradley again. See who else got in there. Kevin Gorski in there. Ryan Jones.
15 seconds in the game. Should be the final play. Going to run it here for Beckendorf. He'll pick up 3 yards. And they're just going to let the final 3 seconds. Oh, no, they won't. They're going to stop it at 1 just to move the chains. That's nice. Okay. 1 second to go to move the chains. St. Ambrose and St. Francis are already walking onto the field to shake hands. And what a big win. What a big win for St. Francis. Derek Wentworth, the captain. He's the first one in line to shake hands, and he was already jumping up and down, spinning around. Very excited. What a performance. What a statement made by St. Francis today. Final score 35-14, but it wasn't even that close, Dave.
No, just trying to pull up actually the drives. If you take away, they had 2 drives at the end, starting at 8 minutes when they got their first touchdown. 2 drives of 165 yards in the late going. So you take away that, and what did they have? Just trying to pull all the numbers down. So 185, so they had about 80 yards up until those 2 touchdown drives at the end. That was complete domination, great performance by the Saints. But guess what? You're 1-0 this week, you're 0-0 next week, and you got 3 big games left.
Absolutely, and Olivet won their game today, so they're going to be ready to go for St. Francis. Who's going to be the one to knock off the Saints, if anybody? That's the question as this season goes on. St. Francis now 4-0 in the conference, 4-2 overall. Coach Curry wins his 101st game, now 48-53 as the head coach of St. Francis. But it all comes down to Sam Tumulty today. Through the air, 14 for 23, 162, but it was his legs that were impressive. 28 carries, 211 yards, and 5 touchdowns for Sam Tumulty today. And I'm not sure he had another yard. Well, I think he came out of the game, in the 4th quarter?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the last 2 or 3 drives were by Eric Mayfie. And Rayvon Johnson, 10 receptions, 114 yards. We talked about a big day for him, and he got that. James Zillinger, 12 carries, 45 yards. Pere Barberin, 8 carries, 44 yards. So
defensively for St. Francis, it was Mike Whitney leading the way. I believe the first time he's led the team in tackles. 7 tackles, along with half a tackle for a loss. Chris Johnson, the middle linebacker, 6 tackles, all solo tackles, one of them for a loss. Terrence Nicholson also had 5 tackles, all solos, with a tackle for a loss as well. Great job defensively by this team. The final defensive numbers aren't going to really show it because they had 2 pretty long drives at the end of this game against some of the second stringers. But this first-team defense, as stout as we've seen them in a long, long time.
Yep. Like you said, 166 yards in the last 2 drives, and other than that, 80 yards the whole afternoon for St. Ambrose. Total domination
Yep.
By St. Francis, both offensively, defensively, special teams. We saw Brian Madej, with the run for a first down. We saw 2 or 3 punts inside the 20-yard line. Just a total team effort, and that's what you're going to need the last 3 weeks of the season.
When was the last time that when you said the phrase after a football game, total domination by the Saints? Probably have to go back to that, 2011, 2012 teams. Those teams were very, very good. But, they dominated a lot of teams, and hopefully St. Francis getting back to that whole line of thinking with a great defensive performance and the play of freshman quarterback Sam Tumulty. Just an amazing performance today. Big win for the Saints, 35-14. They are at home next week trying to defend their turf atop the MSFA Midwest against Olivet Nazarene, who went into today's action ranked number 19. They won again. They'll probably stay there as they try to, like I said, knock off St. Francis from the Midwest standings. It's been a fun year so far, and it's only going to get more intriguing as long as we go on here with the Saints at the top of the standings. Congratulations to Coach Curry, Coach McCarthy, rest of the coaching staff. A big win here on the road against St. Ambrose, a team they haven't beaten for the last 4 years. So a revenge game as well for USF. Time to hit the road, Dave. We're going to go down to Champaign and take in the men's basketball game against the University of Illinois. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm not sure if anybody from the St. Francis Athletic social media department is going to be down there.
I might just have to give you the account.
Oh, there you go.
Since you're the whiz.
Yeah, well, I'm the whiz. That's right. Well, you can follow at USF Athletics or at USF Saints on Twitter and Instagram, too. I'll post them on mine in case you change your mind on that. At Nick with a mic, if you want to keep track of the Saints basketball team later on tonight. That's an 8 o'clock tip-off down at State Farm Arena, I believe is what it is.
State Farm Center.
State Farm Center, yeah, down in Champaign. Fun one here today. Saints remain 4-0 in the conference, now 4-2 with a 35-14 victory over St. Ambrose. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you back at the stadium next week here on the USF Sports TV Network.